Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. So we're going to start with chapter 2 integers, and the lessons we're going to cover today are lesson 2.1 representing integers, 2.2 adding integers with tiles, and 2.3 adding integers on a number line. So we are working on the book Maths Make Sense. Math Makes Sense grade 7. Okay, here is the book Maths Make Sense grade 7. Let's just start with chapter 2. We're going to start with chapter 2 integers. Okay. Okay, here I am on chapter 2 integers. So let's just start with the chapter. Here is 2.1 representing integers. So basically we're going to learn how do we represent the integers, right? The positive integers and the negative integers. So let's just start with the lesson. Okay, you can see here is an example. Use colored tiles to model negative 4 in three different ways. So how do we represent the negative 4? So start with 4 red tiles to model negative 4. You have to make 4 red tiles. Add different number of zero pairs. Each set of tiles below models negative 4. So what you have to do, you have to make red tiles, and then for each tile you have to make another pair of yellow tiles, right? Adding 4 zero pairs does not change the value, right? So adding 2 zero pairs does not change the value. Adding 7 pairs does not change. Okay, that means you have to make the red tiles. Red tiles are the green positive tiles. You have to make re- them with a pair with the yellow tile to represent the negative numbers, right? So negative 4, you have to represent negative 4 three ways. You have to make four 8 red tiles. 4 plus 4 8 red tiles. So then you have to make the pair of yellow tiles, so that represent the other red tiles represent the negative tiles, right? So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4. This represents the negative 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. This represents the negative 4. Then here you have 1, 2, 3, 4. There represents the negative 4, right? Okay, so let's just start with the practice questions. Write the integer model by each set of tiles. Let's just start with the A. Okay, so you are given. Okay, so you can see here you have two zero pairs. If you have yellow tiles represents the positive numbers and red tiles represent the negative numbers. So this is a pair of red and yellow tile, another pair of red and yellow tile. So when you have a pair of red and yellow tile, they make zero pairs, right? So you're left with just one yellow tile. So one yellow tile represents positive one, right? Okay, just look at the second one. This is a pair of red and yellow tile. This is a pair of, that means you have two zero tiles, right? You're left with three yellow tiles, and yellow tile represents the positive number, so it represents positive 3, right? Okay, for C, you have red and yellow tile. Red and a pair of red and yellow tile makes zero, right? So you have two zero pairs and another no another tile. That means that this represents zero, right? Okay, then you have for D part, you have a zero pair, another zero pair. You are left with just one red tile. One red tile represents the negative number, so it would be negative one, right? Okay, for the E, you have a pair of red and yellow tile, and you are left with three red tiles. So red tiles represents the negative number, so it would be negative 3, right? Okay, a pair of red and yellow zero tile, a pair of zero tile, you are left with just two red tiles. Red tiles represents the negative number, so it would be negative 2, right? Okay, let's just start with question number 2. Draw red and yellow tiles, red, yellow, and red tiles to model each integer in two different ways. So you have to represent each integer into two different ways using red and yellow tiles, right? The first one is negative 6. So you have to represent negative 6. Okay, so you can represent negative 6, as there are so many ways that you can represent with negative 6, right? So you can represent the negative 6 by the red tiles: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 red tiles, are mean they are red color, right? So you can add pair of zeros. This is red tile and this is yellow tile. This is a pair of zero tile, and 6 red tiles represent the negative number, right? So I added one pair of yellow tile, zero tile, right? So adding zero tile changes nothing. You can add as many zero tiles as you can, because that means that is just a zero, right? So they are the, for example, like this: yellow, red, yellow, red. This is another way. Like in question, you have to represent two different ways. So this is another way, right? You can see these two pairs just make zero, and you're left with red, 6 red tiles. So this is another way to represent negative 6 in two different ways, right? Okay, let's suppose I'm going to represent the positive 9, 9, positive 6. Okay, see, now we're going to represent a positive number, positive 6. So how do we represent positive number? The positive numbers are represented by the yellow tiles. So two different ways you have to represent. One way is you can simply add 6 yellow tiles: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? Another way is you can add the pair of yellow and like zero tiles. You can add as many zero tiles, because adding zero tiles changing nothing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y means yellow tiles, right? 6. So this one represents positive 6, and this one also represents positive, because you added two pair of zero tiles. So adding zero tiles changes nothing, right? So that means that represents the positive 6, right? If you have any question, you can please write down the questions in the chat box. Okay, the other one is, let's suppose you have to represent 0. So you can represent 0 by making the pair of yellow and red tile, as many red and yellow pairs. Like in pair form you can make as many, because that a pair of red and yellow tiles means 0. So this is two different ways to represent 0. This one is represents 0 and this one also represents 0, right? The basic thing is if you have a pair of red and yellow tile, they make 0, right? So adding two pair of red and yellow tiles makes the answer 0, or adding one red and yellow pair makes the answer 0, right? Okay. Start with question number 3. Work with a partner. Okay. Place 10 red and 10 yellow tiles in a bag, right? Suppose you draw 6 tiles from the bag. What integer might the tiles model? List all 7 possible integers. Without looking, draw 6 tiles from the bag, record the integers that these tiles model, repeat the experiment 9 more times, and what integer can model most often. Okay, you have 10 yellow tiles and 10 red tiles. You have to draw 6 tiles from the back, right? And then you have to see what different combination of numbers these 6 tiles make, right? Okay, let's suppose you have 10 red and 10 yellow tiles. Question number 6 it is. You have to draw 6 tiles, right? For example, yellow tiles and red tiles, right? And what integer they make. For example, you have 0 red tiles and 0 yellow tile and 6 red tile. If you have all the 6 red tiles, 6 red tiles represents the negative number. That means that is negative 6, right? Okay, if you have one yellow tile and 5 red tiles, right? One yellow and one red make 0. You are left with 4 red tiles, and 4 red tiles represents negative 4. If you have two yellow tiles and 4 red tiles, because you have together you have to make 6, so 5 plus 1, these are the possible combinations that make 6. 0 plus 6 makes 6, 1 plus 5 makes 6, and 2 plus 4 makes 6, right? Okay, so when you have two yellow and 4 red, so two yellow and 2 red makes 0, you are left with 2 red tiles, that makes negative 2. Okay, then you have 3 red and 3 yellow. 3 red, 3 yellow, you have 3 pairs of zeros, that means 0, right? Then you have 4 red and 1 yellow, right? So 1 red and 1 yellow makes 0. You are left with 3 yellow tiles. Yellow tiles make positive number, that would be positive 3, right? No, no, 4 plus 1, 4 plus 2 makes 6. So 2 red and 2 make 0. You are left with 2 two positive tiles, right? Okay, then you have 5 and 1 makes 6. 1 red and 1 yellow makes 0 tile. You are left with 4 yellow tiles. So 4 yellow tiles means you have positive 4. Okay, you have 0 yellow tiles and all 6 red tiles. No, we have done with 0 red and all 6. This one we have already done. You have all 6 red yellow tiles and 0 red tile. That means that makes positive. So this is all the combinations you can make if you have to make the total of 6 tiles, right? And these are all the numbers you can make if you have to represent 6. Same thing you have to do with the negative, with the p part. You have to now you have 10, you have to draw Draw 6 tiles from the bag. You have to make 6 tiles again, but you have to repeat the experiment 9 times, right? For A part, you have to do 7 times. So here is the 7 different combinations that can make 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For the second option, you have to repeat the experiment 9 times, right? So you can do B part by yourself. Okay, let's just start with question number 5. Suppose you have 10 yellow tiles and use all of them. How many red tiles would you need to make positive 2? How do you know? Suppose you have 100 yellow tiles and you have use all of them. How many red tiles would you need to make positive 2? How do you know? Okay, you have to make, in the A part you have 10 yellow tiles, right? You have to use all of them. How many red tiles would you need to make positive 2? You have to make positive 2, right? You have 10 yellow tiles. So you have question number 5A. You have 10 yellow tiles, right? Yellow tiles mean all the positive. They represent positive. You have to make positive 2, right? You have to make all, you have to use all yellow tiles. You have to see how many red tiles you need, right? So 10 yellow tiles and you have to make just 2. So that means you have 8 extra yellow tiles, right? Let's suppose you have 1, 2, 3. Let me see if I can use yellow color to make yellow tiles. Okay, I can. Okay, you have 10 yellow tiles, right? 1, 2. They are basically square. Don't worry. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? Only 2 tiles represents positive 2. What you have to do with these yellow tiles? You can make them zero pair. You can make a zero pair by adding 8 red tiles, right? So when you make 8 red tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these 8 pairs make 0. You are left with just 2 yellow tiles that makes positive 2, right? This is the question is, I think the question is how many red tiles you have to use. Uh, how many red tiles would you need to model positive 2? So we need 8 red tiles to make the model positive 2, right? If you have any questions, you can please write down the questions in the chat box. Okay, B is you have 100 tiles. You have to use all 100. Like here you have 10 tiles. Now you have 100 tiles. You just have to make positive 2, right? So yellow tiles means you have 100 yellow tiles, right? So you have to make just positive 2. So you can see just 2 yellow tiles make positive 2. For the other 98, you have to use 98 red tiles to make them 0, and just 2 of the yellow tiles make positive 2, right? So for the B part, you have to use 98 red tiles, right? Okay, let's just do question number 7. The question 5 and question 4 and 6. I think I haven't done question 4 and 6. You have to try question 4 and 6 on your own, right? I don't have that much time to do each and every question from the uh, practice questions, right? So you have to try them on your own. Let's just start with question 7. Write two integers suggested by each of the situation. You deposit $100 in your bank account, then pay back your friend $20. While shopping in a large department store, you ride the elevator up 6 floors, then down 4 floors. The temperature rises 12 degrees C during the day. Okay, you have to represent these models, right? Okay, so the first one is you deposit $100 in your bank account, then pay back your friend $20, right? So $100 you added to your account, right? That is a positive number. Whenever you add something in your account, it will be represented by positive value. So you added $100 to your bank, that would be represented by the positive 100, right? Then you pay back. Payback means you pay $20 to your friend. That means $20 would be subtracted from your account, right? So second number represents negative 20, right? Because you pay back, that would be removed from your account, so that the second digit represented by negative 20, right? That is for the A part. The B part is, while shopping in a large department store, you move up 4 times, up 6 times, and then down. Okay, you move up represents by the positive integers, so it would be positive 6 that you move up, and you move 4 times down, that means negative 4 represent by the down, right? Okay, then you have the C part is, the temperature rises 12 degrees C during the day and fall. So basic thing is, you have the concept here is, if you have to represent the rise, you can use the positive numbers. If you have to use the fall, the temperature falls, you have to use the negative. Basically, you've learned here how do we represent these situations, right? That is added to your account. Whenever you add something to your account, you have to represent them by positive integers. And when you remove something from your account, that would represent it by the negative number, right? Okay, let's just start with the second one, adding integers with tiles. So now we're going to learn how do we add integers, but you're adding integers using tiles. Okay, okay, you can see this example. The first example, here it is. To add two positive integers, you are adding positive 5 and positive 4, right? The positive numbers are represented by the yellow tiles. So you can see here, you have 5 yellow tiles, they represent positive 5. Then you have to positive 4. So you have to add them, just count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means you have positive 9, 9 yellow tiles, right? Okay. Here is another example, negative 6 and positive 9. Negative 6 means you have to make 6 negative tiles and, sorry, yes, 6 red tiles, and positive 9 means you have to make 9 yellow tiles, right? So 6 pairs of red and yellow makes 0, and you are left with three yellow tiles. Yellow tiles represent positive numbers, so the answer is positive 3, right? Okay, then you have, the next example is, you have to add negative 3 and negative 7. So you have to make negative 3 red tiles to represent negative 3. Then you have to make 7 red tiles to make negative 7. So that means you have to add them together, so they make negative 10, right? Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, here it is. With what sum does each set of tiles model? Okay, you have to see what sum they model. Okay, the yellow tiles means a positive number, right? That means this is positive 4. The red tiles represent negative 2. So that means it is positive 4 plus negative 2. And you are left with 2 yellow tiles. That means the answer is positive 2, right? Okay, you have 2 negative tiles that represents negative 2. You have 3 positive tiles that represents, sorry, yellow tile represents positive. It is positive 2 and plus negative 3, right? So these two pairs of tiles make 0. You're left with just one tile, that means negative 1, right? 1 2 3 4, you have four negative tiles, and plus two negative tiles, right? So all of them are negative, you have to count them together, they makes negative 6, right? Okay, you have six positive tiles and plus three negative tiles, you are left with three yellow tiles, that means that is positive 3. You have one positive yellow tile that represents positive 1, and one two three four negative tiles. The answer is you are left with this pair makes 0, you are left with three red tiles, that makes that is negative 3, right? Okay, then you have positive 3 plus positive 2, you have to just count them together, and together they make positive 5, right? Okay, what sum what sum does each set of model what sum does each set of tiles model? How do you know you are correct? Okay, you have three yellow tiles, right? Yellow tiles are positive, and two red tiles. Red tiles means negative, right? So three red and two negative. Let me write them down on board. Three yellow tiles and two red tiles. Question number two. Three red and two yellow. Right here is one, two, and three red tiles, and here is two yellow tiles, right? So the pair of red and yellow tiles makes 0. You have left with only one red tile. So the red color represents negative 3 and plus positive 2, and you are left with one red tile that represents negative 1. That means negative 3 plus positive 2 equals negative 1, right? So that is negative 1. Okay, then you have three red tiles and four red tiles, three yellow and four red. Three yellow and four red tiles, right? So three yellow and three red makes 0. You are left with three yellow tiles means you have positive 3 plus four red means negative 4. So a pair of three red and three yellow makes 0 tiles. You are left with just one red tile. One red tile represents negative 1, right? Okay, let's just start with question number. Okay, use colored tiles to represent each sum. Find each sum, sketch the tiles you used. What do you notice? Okay, colored tiles you have to represent positive 2 plus negative 2. Positive 2 plus negative 2. Positive tiles are represented by the yellow color. 1, 2, right? Then you have -2. So basically these are the two pairs of zero tiles, right? So the answer is 0. Okay. The next one is they all make 0. +4, -4, +5, -5, they make 0. Okay, the next one is add sketch colored tiles to show how you did it. Okay, +3, +2. Okay, you have positive tiles are represented by the yellow color, right? So you have 1, 2, 3 that represents +3. You have 1, 2 that represents +2. They are the same color tiles, you just have to add them so it makes +5, right? Okay, another one I'm going to do is -3 plus -4, E part, -3, -3 plus -4, I think. Okay, colors, negative tiles are represented by the red color. This one represents -3. This one represents -4. So that means you just have to add all the tiles, right? So together they make 7 and red tiles, so it makes -7. That means -3 plus -4 makes, right? Let's start with question number 5. Write, add, write the adding equations. You just have to add. You don't have to make tile. Okay, the first one is +4, +3. Both the numbers are positive. You simply have to add, right? So it makes +7. -7 plus +5. So a pair of 5 positive and 5 negative makes 0. You are left with just two negative tiles, so that means -2. Then -5, -5, same tiles, that means -9. You have to count them collectively, that makes -9. +8 and plus -1. A pair of one positive and one negative makes 0. You are left with 7 positive tiles. -10 and -6. You have to count the tiles collectively because they are all same tiles. So that makes -16. +4 plus -13. Pair of 4 red and 4 tiles makes 0. You are left with -9. Represent each sentence with integer, then find each sum. So now you have to represent these integers using uh, po- uh, represent this sentence using positive and negative integers, and then you have to calculate their sum, right? Okay. The temperature drop 3 and rise by 4. Drop means you have to represent it by the negative value. It would be -3, and rise would be positive value. So it would be +4. So -3 plus +4, that makes +1, right? Okay, then Mary earned $5, that is positive, and spent 3, that would be negative. So pair of 3 positive and 3 negative makes 0. You are left with +2. Then Duma deposits 12, that means +12, and withdraws negative. Withdraws 5, that would be negative. So pair of 5 positive and 5 negative makes 0. You are left with 7 positive tiles, right? Okay. The next question is question number 6 7. Use question 6 as a model. Write three integer addition problems, trade problems with a classmate. Okay, so you have to use question 6 as a model, right? That means you have to write three integer addition problems, right? Okay, use question 3 addition. Okay, that means you have to write three statements, right? Like we like in question number 6. It can be any, this one, like this. Okay, so you have to use three integer addition problems. Okay, for example, you can use any number. For example, Ali earned $5 and spent $4, right? You can make any three statements. Let's just start with question number 8. Copy and complete positive 5 and positive 8. They are adding. Here you have addition and here you have addition, right? That means the second integer must be positive because you have positive 8 on the other side. So it would be positive 5 and positive 3 makes positive 8, right? Okay, here you have negative 3. Here you have negative 4, right? So that means you have to you are already have three red tiles. You have to make negative 4. That means the other one is red tile. Red negative 1. One red tile, right? So positive 3 and you have to make 1. That means the second integer would be negative. You have to subtract 2 from 3 so that you'll get the answer 1. Negative 5 and negative 3, that means you have to add 2. Positive 2, positive 1, that means you have to subtract 1. Positive 6 and negative 6 makes 0. Okay, assessment focus question 9. Add positive 3 and negative 7. So 3 positive tiles and 3 negative tiles make 0 pairs. You are left with just 4 negative tiles, right? Okay, suppose you add the integers in opposite order, like you have negative 7 plus negative 3. No, the sum doesn't change. Like same way, 3 positive and 3 negative makes 0. You are left with negative 4. That means sum does not change, right? Okay, how is negative 3 plus 7? Okay, negative 3 and plus 7. You have 3 negative 3 positive tiles would be make 0. You are left with 4 positive tile in this case, and in this case you have 3 positive 3 negative makes 0 and you are left with 4 negative tiles. You can see this is the difference between the result, right? Okay, the next one is question 10. Add sketch colored tiles to show how you did it. Just make tiles of these numbers, right? And find the solution. All three are positive, the answer would be positive 6. You have to just add, right? Solve. You have three positive, solve pairs, then make a pair. positive 2 and negative 1, right? So one positive and one negative cancel out, you're left with one positive tile. One positive and three positive makes positive 4. You can solve the rest of them by yourself. In a magic square, question number 11. Every row, column, and diagonal has the same sum. Copy and complete each magic square. How did you do it? Every row, column, and diagonal has same sum. Okay, you can see here 0, right? That means every row and column must make 0, right? So here you have positive 3, negative 3 makes 0, right? You have positive 3, you have to make 0 here. You have positive 3 and negative 1. That means you have to have here negative 2. Because negative 2, negative 1 makes negative 3, and negative 3, positive 3 makes 0, right? Same is the case, positive 3 and positive 1. That makes positive 4. That means here you have negative 4, because you have to make either way, you have to make 0, either row wise, column wise, you have to make 0. Okay, positive 1, negative 2. Here you have positive 2, because positive 2 plus positive 1 makes positive 3, and positive 3 and negative 3 makes 0, right? And then you have negative 3 here. That means you negative 3, negative 1 makes negative 4. Here you have positive 4, right? Okay, here you have negative 2. Negative 3, negative 2, and negative 1, they makes negative 6. That means you have to make negative 6 row wise, column wise, right? Okay, positive 1, negative 1 makes 0. That means here you have negative 6, right? Okay, negative 1, you have to make negative 6. Negative 1, 0, and negative 5 makes negative 6. Negative 6, negative 2 makes negative 8. Here you have negative 2. Positive 2, because minus 2 and positive 2 makes 0. You are left with negative 6. Okay, negative 3, and that means here you have negative 4. Because negative 3 and you are left with negative 2. Yes, it is 4. Okay, question 12. Copy each integer pattern. What do you add each time to make next term? Okay. Okay, 8 and 4, they are decreasing by 4. Then you have 4, 0, negative 4. Each time this is decreasing by 4. 0 minus 4. Minus 4 minus 4 makes negative 8. Again, negative, negative 12, negative 16, negative 20, right? Okay, here every time 3 is adding 3. Negative 12 plus 3 makes negative 9. Negative 9 plus 3 makes negative 6. Negative 6 plus 3 makes negative 3. Okay, 3 minus 3 plus 3 makes 0. 0 plus 3, 3. 3 plus 3, 6. And 6 plus 3, 9. Right? For A part, you are subtracting negative 4 every time. And for B part, you are adding 3 every time. Right? Okay, we are done with 2.1 and 2.2. We'll do 2.3 in next session, right? So basically, chapter we're working on is integers. We have done with 2.1 and 2.2. We'll do 2.3 in the next session. The lessons we have covered today are, sorry, okay, the lessons we have covered today are representing integers, adding integers with tiles. We'll do 2.3 in the next session, right? Okay, so if you have any question, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. There are questions I haven't done on the board. You have to try them on your own. So if you need help with any of the question, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. So that's all for today. See you in the next session. If you have any question, you can please ask. Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next. Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.